Shalom and welcome back for another amazing Parashah adventure with Moses in Vaera. Adonai said to Moses, "Now you will see what I'm about to do to Pharaoh. Through a strong hand he will let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land." Adonai said to Moses, "I am Adonai, I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as El Shaddai. But by my name Hashem, I did not make myself known to them and established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan. I have heard the groanings of the children of Israel whom the Egyptians keep in bondage. Go and say to the children of Israel, I am Hashem, and I will bring you out from under the bondage of Egypt, and I will redeem you with a stretched out hand and with great judgment." And Moses went to the people and told them all Hashem had spoken, but they would not listen. Hashem spoke to Moses saying, "Go in, speak to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, that he let the children of Israel go out of his land." Hashem said further to Moses and Aaron, "When Pharaoh asks you to show them a sign, then Aaron shall take his staff and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent." And Moses and Aaron went before Pharaoh and told Pharaoh all Hashem had commanded them. And Aaron cast his staff down before Pharaoh, and Pharaoh instructed his magicians to do the same. But Aaron's serpent swallowed up their serpent. The Lord instructed Moses to demand Pharaoh release the children of Israel. But he would not listen, and this led to the Nile River turning into blood, causing widespread blood in Egypt's water system. But the magicians of Egypt did the same by their secret arts and enchantments, so Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he did not listen to Moses and Aaron. The Lord told Moses to go to Pharaoh and tell him to let his people go, but if he refused, he would strike his entire land with frogs. Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. Pharaoh asked Moses and Aaron to pray to the Lord to remove frogs from him and his people and allow them to sacrifice. Moses asked when he would plead for the frogs to be removed from Pharaoh's houses and people, and Pharaoh agreed to do so tomorrow, ensuring Pharaoh knew the Lord's power. The Lord instructed Moses to instruct Aaron to smite the dust of the land to make it lice. Aaron did so, and lice became visible in both humans and beasts. The magicians tried to bring lice using enchantments, but Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he did not listen. The Lord instructed Moses to stand before Pharaoh and tell him to let his people go for his service. If he refused, he would be sent swarms of flies, destroying the Egyptians' houses and their ground. The Lord would also separate the land of Goshen from his people, demonstrating his presence. The Lord then sent a severe fly swarm into Pharaoh's house, servants' houses, and all of Egypt, causing the land to be corrupted. The Lord instructed Moses to tell Pharaoh that he was to let his people go and serve him. If he refused, a terrible plague would come on his livestock, including horses, donkeys, camels, herds, and flocks. The Lord set a time for this to happen, and the next day, all Egyptian livestock died, but none of the Israelites' livestock. Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he refused to let the people go. The Lord instructed Moses and Aaron to throw ashes into the sky, which would become boils and sores on all the Egyptians. The magicians couldn't stand before Moses, and the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. The Lord then instructed Moses to stand before Pharaoh and tell him that he would send all his plagues on him and his servants to show his power and proclaim his name throughout the earth. The Lord then sent a heavy hailstorm, causing Pharaoh to flee and his livestock to die. This is the end of our parashah. We hope you join us next week for another amazing adventure.